Let's begin with updates coming in from Goa, where we're seeing an unprecedented crackdown against the Luthra brothers, the ones who owned the club in which a fire broke out and 25 died. The brothers may have fled. They're in Thailand currently. But the Goa government is continuing with the crackdown. Bulldozers there went on a drive to destroy property owned by the brothers. This was in Vagator. Their nightclub was demolished by the Goa government. This is bulldozer justice playing out essentially in Goa right now, with the owner still at large. Let me bring in Divyesh Singh for more details on this. Divyesh is joining us live from the Romeo Lane, or at least what once was Romeo Lane in Vagator, completely demolished right now, Divyesh, and the first of many steps we understand by the Goa government.
Well, yes, Akshita, this action being taken by the Goa government, and you can see behind me, that's the Romeo Lane club. And there's the earth mover that has been brought in. 2 earth movers have been brought in, and the parts that were on the beach have been demolished. This club was operating for the last 5 years without any permission, without permits, functioning completely illegally, and it was built on land belonging to the Goa government. It was Department of Tourism land, and there was also a High Court order to demolish the club. But despite that, demolition did not happen then. It's happening today after 25 lives have been lost, after the prime accused, the Luthra brothers, have fled to Thailand. After that, the Goa government has woken up, and you can see that there's demolition happening right now. And the club Romeo Lane in Vagator has been demolished. The incident happened at Birch by Romeo Lane Club in Arpora. This one is in Vagator, and this was functioning, according to activists, this was functioning for good 5 years. And there had been multiple complaints regarding this club. Authorities were informed, but then action did not happen. Today, finally, action is happening, and the club is being demolished.
Okay, so we're going to be seeing more such steps as well. Divyesh will continue getting us the latest updates on that. Thanks for the moment, Divyesh, for joining us. But let's move on to our top focus here on Super6. The Madurai Deepam controversy is now blowing up into an all-out political storm. After firing salvos at the BJP and the DMK, the DMK is now upping the ante. They've moved the fight from Tamil Nadu to Delhi. They're targeting directly the Madras High Court judge, G.R. Swaminathan, who ordered for the Deepam to be lit atop the Deepatone pillar, despite the state's objections. Now, what you see on your screens are the MPs led by DMK and several other India bloc MPs who came together to submit a motion of impeachment to the Lok Sabha Speaker. Armed with 120 signatures, the DMK is pushing for the impeachment of the judge. Obviously, those numbers don't stand because the impeachment motion needs a lot more numbers, needs a lot more support in Parliament. But it's about the messaging here by the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam that they will take on this judge. And in fact, in that particular notice against the judge, they've claimed that this was a judgment that came in because of political pressure, filled with political color, essentially. There's a big political fight that's broken out over this particular move by the DMK. We'll get you all the details first in our report.
And these are the pro-Hindu groups that are being forcefully removed from this location at this spot.
A religious spark,
They are trying to remove the crowd from this particular area.
a legal flashpoint, a political firestorm. The Madurai Deepam controversy has now exploded into a rare showdown. The ruling DMK versus a sitting High Court judge. What began as a matter of faith has morphed into an unprecedented clash between the state's political establishment and the judiciary. DMK MPs on Tuesday marched to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla with an impeachment motion against Justice G.R. Swaminathan, a move backed by 120 MPs of the India bloc, including Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Akhilesh Yadav. The DMK's charge sheet against the judge is blunt. The judge's conduct, they say, compromises judicial impartiality. He allegedly shows favor to a particular advocate. And he delivers orders tinted with political ideology. The BJP has seized the moment, calling the impeachment attempt proof of what it calls the opposition's anti-Hindu, anti-constitution phase.
This is the sentiment of Hindus for 100 years, and this is the right of each and every Hindu in Tamil Nadu. So we cannot, if we going on giving impeachment for every judgment like this, there is no any end for that.
The flashpoint was Justice Swaminathan's order to light the lamp on the Deepathon pillar atop the Thiruparankundram hill, raising objections from Dargah management. The order was not implemented by the Tamil Nadu government, igniting protests by the BJP and right-wing groups. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin hit back hard, accusing political rivals of weaponizing the Deepam for cheap politics and having a riot mindset.
ஒரு சிலரோட அரசியல் லாபங்களுக்காக பிரிவுகளையும் பிளவுகளையும் உண்டாக்கி சமூகத்தை துண்டாடும் சதி செயல்கள் அது நிச்சயமா ஆன்மீகம் அல்ல, அது அரசியல். அதுல கேடுகட்ட மலிவான அரசியல்.
The DMK knows it does not have the numbers. This impeachment motion won't topple a judge. But they hope to send a loud, unmistakable message ahead of 2026 Tamil Nadu battle. Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's bring in our reporters on this broadcast. We've got Maushami Singh joining us live from Delhi and Anagha Keshav from Chennai. Anagha, to you first, on what really the DMK strategy is here. You know, considering that, they clearly don't have the numbers to actually push for this impeachment motion, why are they going ahead with this step, Anagha? What is the messaging they're intending?
Well, in fact, at this point, the DMK believes that the manner in which Justice G.R. Swaminathan is acting is obscure, it's non-transparent, and the DMK has also made a huge allegation against this justice. They're saying that he is only favoring those advocates who belong to a particular community. They've also made another allegation against this particular justice by saying that he also decides his cases based on people who belong to a certain community. That's the kind of scathing allegation that the DMK has levelled against Justice G.R. Swaminathan. Of course, they are running heavily short of securing 2/3 of the signatures from all the members of parliament. They're running very, very short. They've obtained only 120 signatures so far, which is not really enough, seeking for impeachment of Justice G.R. Swaminathan. The DMK is of the belief that that if indeed the permission is given to light a lamp near the Deepathon, that would result in communal tensions, and therefore bypassing the court order, they prevented the Hindu devotees from lighting atop the Deepathon hill.
Okay, so the DMK essentially questioning the judge's order, questioning the motive behind delivering such a judgment. Thanks very much, Anagha, for joining us with those details. Let me open this up. Joining us on this broadcast is Dhanidharan, spokesperson of the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. We have Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, and also Ramakrishnan Rajagopal, retired IAS and spokesperson of the Tamil Nadu BJP. Vanakkam, thank you all very much for your time. Mr. Shekhar Iyer, I'd like to begin with you. What do you make of this move, sir, by the DMK pushing for the impeachment of the High Court judge?
Well, Akshita, when you began this story, you mentioned about what is the actual motive. Well, one can see that there is a race in Tamil Nadu now how to secure the votes of minority, which today DMK fears could switch to the new party, Tamizhaga Vetri Katchi. With Vijay back in action, holding another very successful meeting in Puducherry, the whole worry is that if this single judge's order had been allowed, in the sense, if they had permitted 5 people to light the lamp at that place, at where they say is the Deepam Tool or the pillar, what the government did, the administration did was, I would say on the face of it is content, because since they could not get a relief in the division bench, and they didn't have time till to move the Supreme Court, they straight away prevented the 5 people who wanted to light the lamp on the ground, saying since the temple is under the Hindu endowment department, it is the government that will light the lamp. Number one. Number two, look at the impeachment motion. I don't know, Priyanka Gandhi is one of the signatories. I don't know if she read it. The second one says a particular community. The judge belongs to a particular community and he has favored a lawyer belonging to a particular community. So the whole idea is, because this is becoming more kind of a Hindu kind of agitation, they are hoping that they can bring back that old formula of Brahmin baiting. That is why they are mentioning this community, the impeachment order itself. That the judge belongs to that community.
You know, the details that have emerged from the impeachment motion will lead to questions, as I mentioned, about the motive. Mr. Shekhar Iyer has highlighted one particular point mentioned in that impeachment motion. Explain to us what is the motive behind targeting a judge, Dharnidharan. Is it just because the verdict wasn't in the DMK's favor that you're now going after him?
Which is not the case. There have also been history and precedents to it. But the primary fact is also that this is a practice that where the Deepam is lit in the lower sanctum, not just today, but for the last 200 years, even before the founding of the Justice Party.
Sure.
And the matter was also settled in 1920s. So the matter is liked up by one political party. We know which party that is. And then the case was also filed by someone with political allegiance to that party, right? Or his organization has affiliation to that party. So this specific judge has time and again shown partisan behavior. How partisan behavior? He had shared the stage with the BJP leader H. Raja, where he mocked the said person, mocked the Dravidian model, and mocked the former chief minister of Tamil Nadu, Kalaignar Karunanidhi, for not knowing Kanchi Shankaracharya. And then he's also made some remarks that non-Brahmin should not be made as priests. So this is judicial partiality, right? And we make a clear demarcation between judicial partiality versus judicial activism. Judicial activism is fine.
No, but let me stress on partiality here. The point that's mentioned is undue favoritism shown to one senior advocate, I'm not going to name him, in deciding the cases, also favoring advocates from a particular community. Say it straight, Dharnidharan. Say it direct. What are you referring to?
There are three things that's been told. That's not the only thing that's being said. I can also tell you the justice's name, Sri Charan Ranganathan. I think so. So there's an accusation that the justice is preferring this specific advocate, an advocate who are related to him. Is
no,
what it
from
means.
A particular community means what? Are you suggesting that anyone who's Hindu?
No, we are not saying that.
So what does particular community mean?
People who are related to him is what we meant. People who are related to him is what is clearly being meant. And I've also shown you anecdotes of him being partial. Can a sitting judge, you answer me this, can a sitting judge go and share dais with the leader of another political party and make opinion about another political party? Is it partial behavior or non-partial behavior? Sitting in the court, he has made his personal opinions. See, my party is not against any religion or for any religion. As a party in power, we are bound by the constitution. The constitution says secularism. Can a chief minister of any state openly say, I prefer this religion, people of this religion, or people of this caste? Can he? That's all. It's not about one caste is above other or one caste is lower the other. But the simple matter is, if someone like a chief minister or someone as above as a justice, like as important as a justice, can he identify and say, I prefer this?
No, but the other point made is deciding cases on the basis of a particular political ideology. Now that will translate to a political ideology that's not in favor of the DMK. So again, I'm going to go back to my reading, which is that the verdict not in favor and hence an impeachment motion. Let me bring in Ramakrishnan Rajagopal of the BJP. I'll come back to you, Dharnidharan. Let the BJP finish and then I'll give you a chance to respond.
Very interesting point. So I will just answer. So would this doubt has happened? Why? Because he is sharing regularly dais with BJP leaders and mocking my party. If the judge has not done it, we would not have had the suspicion. So his behavior is what made us suspect him. That's all.
Mr. Rajagopal, your views. The judge, according to the DMK, is favouring a political ideology. Essentially, the indication is favouring your party, sir.
No, you see, the point is, why has the impeachment motion been moved now? You see, they went on appeal to the division bench of the High Court. The appeal failed, and then they moved the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, we are not going to take it up in a hurry. It will be taken up in due course. Now, knowing that their appeals have failed in various judicial fora, they have now taken recourse to this move. Now, why they have taken recourse to this move is to actually forestall the contempt proceedings in the High Court. There is now the possibility that contempt proceedings can go ahead. The judge can go ahead with contempt proceedings because his judgment now rules the field. Now, by intimidating the judge, they feel that the contempt proceedings will not be proceeded ahead with. Now, that is the whole issue. Now, if this is the way the rule of law is going to be subverted in our country, I don't think any judge will be able to give an independent judgment. Now, the rule of law is now under threat. Now, this is a very important matter. The matter is sub judice. The matter is in the Supreme Court. At this stage, moving an impeachment motion is definitely not acceptable.
But at the same time, sir, there will be questions asked about whether the DMK is just following due process. They're going ahead and pushing for an impeachment motion because they do not believe that he's upheld the constitutional values, constitutional principles.
No, that's exactly the point. I mean, so if you feel you have a problem with the way the judge is conducting himself, then why move now? You should have moved much ahead when he was actually sharing a stage, as he says. When you had a problem with him on some other count, that was the time you should have actually moved the courts. No, or moved the parliament, moved a motion against him in parliament.
Dharnidharan, the timing here, the BJP is questioning the timing of this, because then the reading is going to be, like I have been stressing over and over again, that this is a judge being targeted for not giving a favorable verdict. And then what kind of a precedent are we setting?
No, you see, there have been more than a dozen of cases where impeachment proceedings against a sitting High Court or Supreme Court judge have been initiated. In fact, even as recent as 2011, BJP in the opposition has initiated impeachment proceedings against Justice Swaminathan, if I'm not wrong. So what then is it? Was it also tantamount to threatening the judicial system?
I just want to mention here. I just want to mention here that the impeachment motion in this particular case mentions political ideology, mentions advocates of a particular community being favored. In that sense, I would suggest that this is unprecedented.
See, I think it's also unprecedented for a sitting judge to share dais as often as we have seen as this justice, and then making mockery of another political party with another ideology, right? This is also unprecedented. So when you have unprecedented governors, unprecedented justices, then we'll have unprecedented actions being taken.
Should we really be going down the path of talking? Should we really be going down the path of talking about sharing the stage? Because there was this controversy, I remember, Chief Minister Stalin, which we chose to take a very clear stand on, that look, that shouldn't be the case.
Another anecdote. I can keep giving anecdotes. One anecdote.
There was one of the Prime Minister and the former CGI as well. Again, something that very clearly the message was clear on, that is part and parcel of how things work.
No, I think those two different things. You're confusing. Even my Chief Minister will share his dais with Prime Minister and give him all the respect because of the Prime Minister. The relationship with the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister is that of giving respect to the position of Prime Minister, and Prime Minister giving respect to the Chief Minister, his Chief Justice and Prime Minister. Right? I think that is completely different than sitting with just a party person. They're two different things, right?
No, you can't possibly expect that he'll be checking everyone's identity.
Two different things, but
Mr. Shekhar Iyer.
I'll give you another anecdote. Listen, I'll give you another anecdote. Lavanya case. This specific judge gave an angle of forced religious conversion and then transferred the case. When my police did not find any evidence, transfer the case to CBI. Even CBI said, no, there was no forced religious
okay, fair enough. So there was
these kind of things.
So you're giving me examples, Dharnidharan, but what those examples establish here is that multiple cases haven't gone in favor of the government. Multiple cases the government hasn't agreed. Mr. Shekhar Iyer, your view on what the DMK is saying, that what they've put forth is valid. They've cited multiple instances to suggest that this judge does favor someone of a different political ideology.
Akshita, in this particular case, it is not, very difficult to find a political logic in what the DMK is saying. Because if they are unhappy with a single judge's order, the course is you go to the higher court. In this case, the division bench. The division bench did not give immediate relief. It refused to stay. So immediately what the DMK does is, one, it doesn't allow it despite the court order, because it fears if it allows in that sense, then perhaps the opposition, particularly Tamil Nadu Kachchi, could get a scoring point or a brownie point vis-a-vis minorities. One. B, it is infusing this anti-Brahmin stuff in the hope that it will again divide the Hindu groups. That this is, going back to the earlier days of Dravidian politics, which was essentially based on an anti-Brahmin narrative. So the hope
do you
is
want
that
to
if you go
respond to
back to
that?
that, you can fight it. But the question is, what the picture I see is the DMK leadership is in panic because one, this movement which is going on regarding the Murugan shrine, and the second thing is the fact that the opposition now is getting momentum with actor Vijay back in action.
Dhanidharan, you want to respond to that? I mean, I don't
DMK is
know
not
if
in
I see a
panic.
Vijay link here, but go ahead, Dhanidharan.
There is no any link. The whole Pandora box on this matter, which has been settled 250 years back, was opened by the BJP party. And then we suspect the judgment could have been biased because of the past behavior of the judge. And the impeachment motion has been initiated here. The whole first impeachment motion in history of independent India was launched by the BJP party itself. Why is Vijay coming into it? Why is politics coming into it? There is no politics at all in it. Right? The Hindus are 90% of Tamil Nadu is Hindus, and they are with the DMK. That is why our vote share is always about 45% to 50% the recent 2019 and 2021 and 24 elections.
Okay, Mr. Rajagopal, quickly your word on the DMK suggesting that constantly the result and the reason that they're having to move this impeachment motion is that there are attempts by the BJP to create unrest, to create communal issues and to polarize in Tamil Nadu.
No, not really. Actually, the judgment of Justice Swaminathan was taken up before a division bench of the High Court. And in the division bench, there was no judge from that community. And that division bench did not stay the order of Justice Swaminathan. And therefore, this reference to the community actually has no relevance, number one. Number two, the case was then taken up in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court heard the matter and said, well, there's no hurry about it. We're taking up in due course. Therefore, when you have a judicial forum to address your issue, taking recourse to an impeachment motion is actually, trying to intimidate the judge and trying to subvert the rule of law. Now, this is going to be a very dangerous precedent for the judiciary in future, because if this is going to be permitted, whenever somebody feels that a judgment is biased, he's going to move an impeachment motion. Getting the support of 100 MPs in parliament is not a big deal for any opposition party, or for that matter, for anybody. Now, if that is going to be the way by which we are going to conduct our parliamentary proceedings, I'm sorry, we are not going to have the rule of law in our country at all. This is anti-constitutional, anti-democratic, anti-parliamentary.
Dhanidharan, quickly your response and then I'll wrap this up quickly.
If it is anti-constitutional, anti-democracy, then why do we have such a situation in place? Who are the parliamentarians? Parliamentarians are nothing but representatives of the people. So the people
are
not
about the law. They're not about
and the people should have a right to even recall a judge. So which is why when the people of the country or people of Tamil Nadu are not happy with the judgment, it is my party's responsibility to take it up. And thereby, Parliament is reflecting the will of the people.
No, so this is a process. This is the impeachment.
That is democracy. Now, how is traversing democracy?
The impeachment process is provided constitutionally. You can go ahead and do this if you have no faith in the judge, or in this case, the judgment as well. I leave it at that.
Thinking that we are going against them, then the people are going to replace us.
No, you have all the right to do it. The only question, Dhanidharan, is why. But I leave it at that. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on this broadcast to break down really what we're seeing right now of an impeachment motion against the judge, which has a signature of 120 MPs, not just DMK MPs, but India bloc MPs, allies of the DMK, who also come on board. And that's why you had Kanimuri alongside an Akhilesh Yadav, Priyanka Gandhi submitting that motion to the Lok Sabha Speaker. Let's move on to the other big story from Tamil Nadu, and actually from neighbouring Puducherry, where you had TVK chief Vijay making a return to the political stage after the Karur stampede. And so there were multiple restrictions, huge security in place, and yet look at the crowds that had gathered. Thousands of fans came together in Puducherry for this event. And Vijay had an interesting political message. While he lashed out at the DMK expected, he heaped praises on the Puducherry government.
Vanakkam, vanakkam.
Over 2 months after the tragic Karur stampede that claimed 41 lives, actor, politician and TVK chief Vijay addressed his first public rally in Puducherry on Tuesday. Crowd frenzy erupted as Vijay's motorcade entered Uppalam Expo ground. Supporters jumped barricades to catch a glimpse of their hero. On stage, Vijay invoked AIADMK founder MG Ramachandran, demanded full statehood for Puducherry and also accused governments of betraying the union territory. He took a dig at the DMK for denying permission for his Chennai rally, calling them unfit to serve the public, while also thanking the Puducherry NDA government for allowing the event, even hoping Chief Minister Stalin learns from them.
வேற ஒரு அரசியல் கட்சி நடத்துற நிகழ்ச்சியாகவே இருந்தாலும் அந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு தன்னெழுச்சியா வர நம்ம மக்களுக்கு பாதுகாப்பு கொடுத்து பாரபட்சமே காட்டாம இந்த கவர்மெண்ட் நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அப்படிப்பட்ட இந்த புதுச்சேரி கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கும் நம்ம புதுச்சேரி சிஎம் சார் அவர்களுக்கும் இத பார்த்தாவது தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கிற அந்த திமுக கவர்மெண்ட் கத்துக்கிட்டா நல்லா இருக்கும்.
The DMK hit back sharply at Vijay.
People will not accept him as a political leader. After the death here, and since he is avoiding the question of his unnecessarily undue delay to that place, people will not accept him.
Meanwhile, Puducherry Chief Minister Rangaswamy listened to Vijay's fiery speech on a smartphone in a shop and thanked him for raising the statehood issue.
Sir, Vijay has thanked you for providing adequate security over here.
Yeah, that is our duty. This is our government.
That's your government?
Yeah, that's our government.
But sir, he has also...
Again, thanks to Vijay also.
Sir, he has also kind of targeted BJP, claiming that you are in alliance with BJP, but he says BJP has not done anything for Puducherry.
We need statehood, actually. But our party main aim to get statehood. He is also mentioned that statehood.
I totally understand, sir.
Vijay also slammed the central government, claiming Puducherry has been sidelined despite BJP being part of the ruling coalition.
புதுச்சேரியில் இருக்கிற கவர்மெண்டோட கூட்டணி ஆட்சியில இருந்தாலும் புதுச்சேரிய ஒன்றிய அரசு எதிலையுமே கண்டுக்கல என்றது புதுச்சேரி மக்களான உங்களுக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். மாநில அந்தஸ்து கோரிக்கையை மட்டுமா கண்டுக்கல, இங்க வளர்ச்சி ஏற்படவும் துணை நிக்கவே இல்லைன்னு கேள்விப்படுறோம்.
The police, who had capped attendance at 5,000 and enforced QR code entry, had a tough time controlling the crowd. Puducherry SP lost her cool, shouting at TVK functionaries trying to bring in more people. 40 people died in Karur, she reminded, refusing entry to excess attendees. In a security scare, a man carrying a gun was stopped before entering the rally. He was identified as David, a guard for a TVK district secretary. Despite heightened security and strict restrictions, Vijay's rally turned into a high-voltage spectacle, marking TVK's return to the political stage. With Pramod Madhav in Puducherry, Bureau Report, India Today.
மகாகவி பாரதியார் அவர்கள் இருந்த மண்.
And joining us on this broadcast is K. Annamalai, Tamil Nadu BJP leader. Mr. Annamalai, vanakkam. Thank you for your time. I want to focus on what's happened today, Mr. Annamalai, in Delhi, where you had an impeachment motion set in motion, courtesy the DMK taking signatures of some of their allies from the India bloc. The impeachment motion is against Justice G.R. Swaminathan. What do you make of this? In the impeachment motion, they say that Justice G.R. Swaminathan is not impartial. He's not transparent, and there are questions of the secular functioning of the judiciary, and that's why they've moved this motion. Your first remarks, sir.
Madam, the very unfortunate event that DMK MPs, part of the India alliance, they were able to get 120 signature, mainly only from the MPs from the India alliance, to move an impeachment motion against the judge, Mr. G.R. Swaminathan. Now, in the history of our country, all the impeachment motions, if you look at it, I don't think any impeachment motion is moved against a judge for delivering a verdict. People have moved impeachment motion saying that corrupt, against the constitution, different versions. But this is a classic case where the DMK MPs, as part of the India Alliance, have chosen to move an impeachment motion only because the judge has done his duty in the court. Now, we have to understand this, madam. It is a long pending issue from 1920, different OS suits, different kind of petitions. And what Mr. G.R. Swaminathan ji has done this time is he hasn't done any demarcation of what belongs to Hindus and what belongs to Muslims. He has said what was there in the original 1920 order. He has only attended to a single query of lighting up the lamp at Deepatun. In the previous verdicts in 2014 or in 1996, the question was nobody has asked about lighting a thing at Deepatun. Everybody wanted to light it at the topmost point of the hillock. And in this order, very clearly, judges mentioned the topmost part of the hillock, there is a dargah, nobody can light a lamp, only has given permission for Deepatun. So that DMK has took it as an offence. And they're trying to play the whole game, trying to bring disrepute to the parliamentary process also. Not only that, madam, and today also in the contempt petition in the court of Mr. G.R. Swaminathan, we could see how willfully the government authorities, the police commissioner and the collectors willfully disobeying his orders, not only on the Thiruparankundram issue. He has mentioned 3 orders. In the month of November and December, how 3 of his orders are willfully disobeyed by the Tamil Nadu government. Instead of bringing impeachment motion against the Judge Swaminathan, it is important that somebody should ask the Chief Minister to resign from the power in Tamil Nadu. Yeah, the Honorable Judge has mentioned in the month of November, he has given a very specific judge in Kanyakumari in a place called Killiyur, and he has directed the district collector to behave in a certain way because his order was against a certain thing. There was a hillock called Mailadum Parai, and the dispute between Hindu and Christians, he has given an order, the collector disobeyed. Again in Dindigul district, in a place called Perumal Kovil Palayam, the Honorable Judge has given an order in November, and again it is disobeyed. Thiruparankundram, he has given an order, again it is not Thiruparankundram issue, it is 3 orders in the last 2 months. The DMK government has chose to disobey. Now conveniently they bring this Thiruparankundram, try to twist the whole issue as if the judges acted against the spirit of constitution. The judges acted as per the spirit of constitution. It is a well-reasoned order. In fact, the higher bench, again a division bench where 2 judges were there in the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, they have dismissed the previous allegation of the government also. Of course, it is in Supreme Court. Now, to put the other things in perspective, when the government of Tamil Nadu has gone to Supreme Court on appeal, when the matter is before the Supreme Court, what is the point of bringing this impeachment motion? So it is shameful, it is illogical, it only shows the level to which DMK government can stoop. And I see a larger point in this. They want to threaten a judge. If a judge gives an order which the DMK government is not in agreement, they want to use the process of impeachment as an option to threaten the judge, to cow down the judiciary, to bring disrepute to judiciary. That is what I am seeing the larger angle.
No, but Mr. Annamalai, this is a constitutional right. If they want to go ahead and impeach a judge, this is the process that's usually followed if you don't have faith in a judge, which is what the DMK is doing. I want to focus on one particular point also mentioned in this impeachment motion, where they've said that this particular judge is favoring advocates from a particular community. Now, I had the DMK on the show earlier. They're saying that it isn't just this judgment. Repeatedly, this judge, Justice G.R. Swaminathan, has been giving verdicts favoring a particular community.
Very, very unfortunate, madam. Extremely unfortunate that DMK has chosen to speak this language. And the same Mr. G.R. Swaminathan has given an order against me. I am sitting right in front of you. And he has given an order against me. In some case, I had to gone to some other court to stay what he has given against me. I'm just telling you. So simply because Mr. G.R. Swaminathan has given an order against me, a citizen called Annamalai, did I speak bad about the judge? It is his way of interpreting the law. We always have the higher courts to go and appeal. And this was a case of a hate speech where he chose to see whatever I spoke as a hate speech. Am I complaining against the judge? So I don't know what the DMK is speaking. In the classic case of Mr. G.R. Swaminathan, it is only the Thiruparankundram issue where DMK has taken particular offense. Now they want to twist it. They want to twist and bring all angles to say, no, all his verdict, be it in Kanyakumari, Killiyur, or in Dindikkal, or here, is favoring one particular community. It is all well-reasoned orders, where the collector and the commissioner simply refuse to disobey, simply refuse to obey that order. They disobey. And none of the administrative people want to talk about it. Now, the whole of Tamil Nadu, the law and order is in shambles. There is no semblance of government. There is no semblance of administrative machinery. Now, only they want to take offense for Thiruparankundram. They want to bring the cause to which the judge belongs into question. And whatever order he has given till now, they want to see from the selective interpretation of the cause to which he belongs, or to the religion to which he belongs. Very, very unfortunate. I can give you classic cases, madam, where many high court judges, their fathers and mothers were office bearers. MLAs, somebody were in DMK party member, they have become high court judges. I'm not complaining now. There is a process of selection. They have come there. In each of those verdicts, if I start seeing that once you were a DMK member, your mother was a DMK MLA, then the whole of judiciary cannot stand on its feet. It's very unfortunate that DMK has chosen this level, has chosen to stoop to this level to play politics.
Let's talk about what's happened in Thiruparankundram as well. Was this a needless controversy, Mr. Annamalai? For years now, for decades now, we've had Karthigai Deepam being celebrated there without any problem, being lit at the designated site. Why the sudden demand that we go ahead and light it at the Deepathon? Did that unnecessarily flare up this entire issue when a festival was being celebrated with no issues, peacefully at that temple?
Madam, I will give you the background. Of course, the last 100 years, I agree with a certain point of view that in the last 100 years that the lamp was not lighted on the Deepathon on the day of Karthigai, which happened to be December 3 this year. But before 1920, it was on. It is a process where there was a big dispute from 1920 to 1930. The matter went all the way to Privy Council. For 10 years, the matter had to go here and there. So they stopped lighting there. They came to a place called Uchipilayar Kovil where they started lighting. Now we have to understand in multiple judgments, each of the judgment was bringing this closer to Deepathon. If you look at the previous judgments of 1990s, where there was a peace committee meeting, where the Muslim brothers themselves came and said they don't have a problem if Hindus chose to light it up Deepathon, provided it is 15 meters away from the Dargah. Nobody had a problem. Now in the court they say no, the Muslims are forced then to sign the agreement at the peace committee meeting and RTO. Even the judgments of 2014 and 17, it spoke about the top of the hillock, the highest point. In fact, Mr. Swaminathan was very clear in his judgment. The highest point, nobody can light a lamp because there is a Dargah there. Very clearly, it belongs to a Muslim community. We are only talking about a point that is lower than the highest point, where a Deepathon is there historically. And that is where he has given permission. Now, suddenly DMK people want to say, no, it is a stone, it is a boundary stone. This stone was kept during the trigonomical survey, the great trigonomical survey that happened in our country. Now, literature of Tamil, in the Twitter and social media, a lot of Tamil scholars are posting how at different points of time when Thiruparankundram was described in the last 200 years of Tamil literature, the Deepathon was very clearly mentioned. The Deepathon's only purpose was a place where on the Karthigai Deepam day, light has to be lit. Only in the last 80-90 years, something has gone wrong. It doesn't mean that we have to set the historical wrong right. I'm only seeing the current judgment as setting a historical wrong right, and it is not disturbing anybody. There is a Dargah, yes, it belongs to Muslim. The judgment is not disturbing that. There is also a flight of stairs leading to Dargah. The judgment is not disturbing that. There is also a flat piece of land where the grave of Muslim elders are buried. The judgment is not disturbing that. And in various records, it is proven that Deepathon is part of the temple. And the funny part is, after the judgment was given on December 1, it is the temple's executive officer who is going on appeal against the order, not the Dargah. It is the temple's executive officer who is supposed to protect this Deepathon, which comes within the boundary of the temple. He goes on appeal against the judgment. The Dargah people came on appeal only on the 4th of December, of course, after the instigation of the DMK government. I don't see anything wrong, no peaceful, no bus damage, no public property damage. Everybody came to Madurai peaceful. There were more number of policemen at a certain point of time than the Hindu protesters.
No, but Mr. Annamalai, you've been an IPS officer. So when the Tamil Nadu government cites law and order to say that's why we couldn't implement a court order, they're saying that all of this is a controversy colored by politics, mired in politics. They say that this is the BJP's polarizing politics taking shape in Madurai. And so they've cited law and order to say we can't go ahead and put out a court order, implement that court order. As a former IPS officer, what do you have to say about that? They're saying riots would have broken out.
Ma'am, December 1st, when the order was issued, no law and order issue was there, no proclamation of 144 CRPC or the 163 BNSS. December 2, no promulgation of order. December 2. December 3, no promulgation of order. I'm just bringing facts into perspective here. December 3 happened to be the Karthigai Deepam day. When it was not lit up at 6 o'clock, the judge took a 5 p.m. petition, then petition became a 6:05 contempt petition. 6:05 issues an order that CASF should go to the top of the hill along with the petitioners to light the lamp. Suddenly the police produces 144 CRPC on the evening of 3rd at 6 o'clock. Again this 144 CRPC, which is 163 BNSS, was called into question by the court itself. When they called for the document itself, in fact the division bench observes a loose sheet of papers. The papers were manipulated. In fact, the division bench judge says the 163 BNS is said it was manipulated to show the time that is before 6. The whole drama started after the judge admitted the contempt petition. Now, the police says there is a law and order happening, madam. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now we are 9th. In the last this many days, has any Hindu protester damaged even 1 paisa of public property? Nothing they have done. Even that order itself is illegal. On 4th, they have arrested our state president Nainar Nagendranji, lot of our senior leaders, including H. Rajaji. Yeah. Even that arrest itself is illegal because no proclamation was in place. They never had any document in place to arrest those people. Now, if we say it is a law and order that was manufactured, that was created, that was orchestrated by the state government. It was orchestrated law and order issue. Even now, as we speak, Madurai is peaceful. Except the police force that is deployed in thousands, they made it like a war zone. They've got all the barricades and set it up.
Okay, you've leveled a big charge there saying the entire law and order issue has been manufactured, but we leave it at that, Mr. Annamalai. We're seeing on one hand, of course, the legal battle continuing. Political battle lines are drawn, unsurprisingly, considering election is coming up in a few months from now. But now that's also moving forward with an impeachment motion that we're seeing play out in Delhi. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Annamalai. Nandri, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
And with that, I'm wrapping up this edition of Super 6. Thanks very much for tuning in.